Good morning and welcome back to Threat Watch, the 15-minute podcast from Lumifi Cyber, where we're going to dig into the news of the week and try to make it make sense. Today, I'm here with Dave Norland, Lumifi's CTO. Dave, how's it going? I hear flash floods are in your future.
Yeah, we got the rare winter thunderstorm headed toward us at Phoenix, and yeah, we'll see what happens during this commute this afternoon. So
Ugh, yeah, don't envy. I mean, we have rain here, but it's a dry rain. It's different, you
yeah,
know.
well, you guys are used to it.
Okay, let's dig in. I talked about this earlier in the week when I did the teaser on Tuesday and followed this up with a LinkedIn post on how this comes from the I told you so department. I have been saying that exposing all of the stolen personal and financial records, along with social media posts, right? Because everybody's got an API and you can pull all that stuff in, data from data brokers. You expose all of that to artificial intelligence, and that would allow a country to ask questions like, how can this voter be convinced to vote a certain way? And now Canadian intelligence is warning of exactly the same thing. So, hey, I was right.
Yeah, I mean we're in an era where I think some of the attack capability is how convincing of a digital AI bubble can you create for your
Hmm.
target. And I think in one of our Secure Summit talks, I made this exact point, right? That we're all going to become custodians of this weird digital reality. And there's going to be competing versions of that reality. And of course, nation states are going to weaponize that. China is a great example of someone who is innovating in maybe an oblique manner to a lot of the other US AI companies. But they're still innovating in their own way. I mean, they're releasing their own models that are piggybacking off of others and using inferred learning and all of that. So, of course, they're going to weaponize that. They're going to take all the information they have from all these different breaches and create something that's very convincing and tailored to the target.
And that's the key point right there, right? It's going to be tailored disinformation. The thing that worries me is it can be delivered out of public view, right? So not in social media where we can see it and counter it, right? But
Right.
email, text, phone calls, things like that, to where it's, off the radar. We don't know what's happening.
Hmm.
Okay, so buckle up. Midterms are going to be lit. All right. Moving on, new research says that AI is being used in multi-channel attacks that blend email, text, social media, collaboration platforms like Slack. Interestingly, they polled a number of cyber practitioners, and something like 90% say they've seen this tactic in use. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's pretty surprising if you consider that AI being this big efficiency gain for the right use case, like writing a phishing email or writing some kind of suspicious text or some type of scam. If a human can do that, and they're going to pepper it with all sorts of misspellings and punctuation. Well, why not just use an AI to improve that, right? Why not go to ChatGPT and spit out 100 different versions of the same spam email, or kind of to the earlier point that we had, why not give it some information about your target and then write an even more convincing spam or phishing email? So, yeah, I mean, you're going to be able to use that capability in a whole bevy of different channels, be it email or text or even now with some of the voice stuff. Um, you know, call that person and try to solicit some sort of response from them using the voice of someone that they know or
Right.
that has been retrieved from a podcast. So,
Man,
you
oh
know,
God, we're all going off a cliff. So the key point too in that article it was making was detection was lagging, right? And so
right.
to me, this is always going to go back to resilience, right? If all the guidance is about resilience. What does that mean? It means you got to be able to take a punch.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, here comes these really advanced, sophisticated methods of getting us to compromise our own computers. To your point, it's coming in from all of these directions, and it's going to happen.
Hmm.
And what you can do is minimize the impact of that when it does happen and have good detection analytics so that you can see it when it does happen, right? You got to put out the little fire before the house burns down.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
now we're really going to have to up our game here.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting thing to try to figure out how would you even detect against that. I mean, you could conceive of different technologies in a closed system like with Teams, right? That's in the bubble of an organization. So you could find some
Hmm.
mechanism to authenticate that that person is actually the person that you believe they are on the other side of that Teams call. But out in the world where you could just receive a text message or a phone call or an email to your own personal account, there's less control and less ability to kind of close that loop and secure communications on both ends. So yeah, I don't know what we do there in that scenario. You got to focus on the business first, and like you said, make sure you can take a punch.
Yep. Get back up off the mat before the 10 count. Okay, next one. This one's big. This has been in the news for a while here, and I don't think it's really getting enough airtime. So NTT-Com, right, Japanese telecommunications company, was compromised, and the actor exfiltrated information on close to 18,000 different companies, including contract numbers, email addresses, physical addresses, right, all kinds of stuff about them. And what happens now? I've never seen an international class action suit, but there's another shoe that's going to drop here, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, now you've got a lot of information and detailed contact data. Imagine if now there were AI ways to to create a very convincing scam or phishing email as if you were NTT, right? That
Hmm.
threat actor potentially has all that, and it will surely weaponize it, as we've been talking about. So it's kind of interesting. I wonder if there's any bleed over if someone in an Intel vault has determined if there was any connectivity between this one, this breach, and some of the telecom stuff we had happen in the U.S. It would not surprise me if it was the same threat actor trying to exploit, multiple communications infrastructures and competitor nations. So.
Yeah. I thought about that. So it's going to be interesting when they, identify a perp here because I don't know that they were in there to surveil communications, right?
Mhm.
Espionage the way
Yeah.
Chinese, right, Volt Typhoon and all those others, but the ones that compromised all of our telecoms, apparently
Hmm.
this was global.
Yeah.
The thing to me looks like the information that was purloined here is useful for business email compromise. So to your point, right, being able to send email as NTT Com to
Hmm.
all of those customers and redirect payments, right? I think that's probably the biggest risk here. Again, I've never heard of an international class action suit, but if we start to see the information being used in that way, businesses are going to want to be made whole. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Ready to get out of here?
Let's do it. Last one.
Okay. All right. I love this one. I like making fun of AI, right? Okay. So OpenAI admits that its new model still hallucinates more than a third of the time, right? So,
Hmm.
yes, the latest model from a company that's worth hundreds of billions of dollars is telling lies for more than one out of every three answers it gives. So, I'd be careful having it write that term paper or especially that legal brief, as we have seen. Okay, all right, that's it. We got to
Yep.
get out of here. All right,
All right.
thanks, Dave. See you next
Yep.
time. In the
See ya.
meantime, sign up for daily Infosec Insider News Blast, free monthly security awareness training, and watch the Lumifi site for upcoming events. Dave, I'll see you later. Good luck with the rain.
Thanks. See you. Bye.
Bye.